This video is sponsored by the Outdoor Photography Guide. In November 2023, my friend Alvaro and I hosted a photography trip in Andalusia, Spain.
Hello.
This November, we'll be hosting another one. Now here's some of the highlights from our first trip.
Film me now, so you better do it right.
Unfortunately, bit of a giveaway, the camera's facing the wrong way.
We picked up Czech, Tim, Peter in Malaga, and after a lunch we headed to Alvaro's beautiful mountaintop hometown of Ronda. Alvaro runs Wild Andalusia and knows all the local hotspots for wildlife. So before going for dinner, we spent some time at dusk photographing red-billed choughs that roost amongst the cliff tops below the city. Early the next morning, we have breakfast in the hills at dawn as the vultures get ready to take advantage of the hot thermals created by the heat from the sun. The griffon vulture may not be a looker, but they are truly amazing birds and such an important part of a healthy ecosystem by feeding on carrion. I love coming to Andalusia to photograph birds. There are species here I never see further north in the UK. At Alvaro's Highs, we photograph rock bunting, black wheatear, crested larks, and a range of other small bird species. Though the birds are outside the hide, I'm easily distracted by the fantastically coloured geckos inside the hide. We came back to the hides at different lighting conditions. Now the time that most stands out in my mind was sitting in the beautiful golden light at the end of the day, photographing the birds backlit. We were based in Ronda, but we took several trips to the highlights in the area, one of them being El Torcal. El Torcal is a nature reserve in the Sierra del Torc mountain range, and the geology here is absolutely spectacular. It reminds me of the Flintstone cartoon I used to watch as a kid. We've come to photograph the Iberian Ibex in mating season. It's a wild goat with some spectacular horns, and the landscape of El Torcal is the perfect setting to photograph with it. It was an early start, but catching a female silhouetted in the dawn sky was worth it. We then spent some time walking around searching for larger males. The limestone of El Torcal is about 150 million years old and was formed at sea, so a range of fossils can be found in the rocks here. The incredible shapes of the rocks have been formed over time by various processes and created some unique features like the tornillo screw. We stopped for some coffee and food, compared some images, and then took the opportunity to photograph the vultures that were passing by the mountain cliffs. Now, during a recce trip, I got an image of cranes flying from the lakes, but the lakes were unseasonably dry, which meant that capturing cranes in flight was a bit of a miss on the day. But the fantastic scenery made some great landscape photography. The Outdoor Photography Guide is an online resource where you'll find hundreds of outdoor photography videos, photography instruction and ideas, product reviews, and more. You'll join a community of like-minded photographers who love sharing new techniques and images. A go-to resource for outdoor photography enthusiasts. Now, the Outdoor Photography Guide has a range of wildlife photography videos, but they also cover many other genres of photography. Though I specialize in wildlife, I love to explore other types of photography as well, and it's very handy to get some inspiration and tips from instructional videos before I head out into the field. It's October and the landscape here in Scotland is looking stunning as the trees and vegetation are changing colours. So I've been exploring the video collection Fall Photography Tips, capturing vibrant landscapes before heading out into the field to try some of the techniques. Go to go.outdoorphotographyguide.com/espenhelland2 and get the first full year of Outdoor Photography Guide Premium for only $1.49. So follow the link in the description to join. Have a browse through the library of resources and start learning. With Alvaro's local knowledge, we checked out a little village to look for roosting long-eared owls. After searching almost every tree in the square, we didn't have much hopes, but then Alvaro managed to find one hidden amongst the foliage. On one of the mornings, we headed to the coast for some early wheatear photography. I love this type of photography. We'll lie down and watch and let the opportunities for photography present itself. And sometimes the local farm animals takes an interest in you.
Hello.
got a friend.
It's such an amazing way they move.
We also got some fantastic views of the rare bald ibis. The bald ibis was once widespread, but 300 years ago it disappeared from Europe and is only now starting to grow in numbers due to reintroduction programs. When driving in Alvaro's van between sites, we almost always had to stop once or twice for something scenic to photograph, whether it was an ibex, a landscape, or the African monarch butterfly along a busy road. We made a stop in Gibraltar to photograph the Barbary macaque monkeys. Now this was a bit of a weird experience. They're wild, but in such a human setting and unafraid of people. We'll drop this part for the next trip, and instead we'll take in 2 days in a hind to attempt to see and photograph the Iberian Ibex, which is making a comeback after being on the verge of extinction only a few decades ago. It was really good to have a variety of lenses on this trip. We even got out the macro lens one day to photograph a wolf spider. While living in a place like Scotland, it's amazing to travel to Andalusia in November. With the nice weather, spectacular sunrises and sunsets are almost a guarantee. We have a couple of places left November 2025 if you want to join us, or you can always sign up for next year. Thank you so much for watching.